Inside Yellowstone legal drama after Taylor Sheridan once sued Cole Hauser. Taylor Sheridan, creator of Yellowstone, filed a lawsuit against actor Cole Hauser's coffee brand, Free Rean Coffee Company, in November 2023. The lawsuit, filed by Sheridan's company, Boss Ranch, accused Hauser's brand of trademark infringement, unfair competition, and false advertising. The legal dispute centered around similarities in the logos of Boss Ranch and Free Rean. Boss Ranch's logo features intertwined B and R letters, while Free Rean used a similar design with F and R letters. Boss Ranch claimed that these similarities could confuse consumers into thinking the two brands were related. Hauser launched Free Rean Coffee in October 2023, just months after Boss Ranch introduced its own coffee line in partnership with Community Coffee. The timing and design similarities prompted Boss Ranch to seek a permanent injunction against Hauser's brand in compensation for damages. Hauser continued to promote his coffee brand on social media, despite the pending lawsuit at the time. In a November 2023 Instagram post, Hauser encouraged followers with the caption, "Morning Crew's Free Rean Coffee Company, get up and get after it." In early 2024, Boss Ranch voluntarily dismissed the lawsuit. The reasons for the dismissal were not disclosed. The Yellowstone series has faced several issues this year, including cast conflicts and production delays. Kevin Costner, who played John Dutton, exited after the first half of Season 5. He later revealed that the show's production was delayed due to an absence of scripts. The picturesque Montana landscapes of Yellowstone were a far cry from the bustling, tense energy inside the courtroom where two titans of the entertainment world, Taylor Sheridan and Cole Hauser, now faced off. It was a legal drama as riveting as any storyline from the hit TV series, though far more personal. Taylor Sheridan, the visionary writer and creator of Yellowstone, sat stoically at the plaintiff's table. His cowboy hat, iconic from behind-the-scenes interviews, was conspicuously absent, replaced by a carefully curated suit and tie that exuded seriousness. On the other side of the courtroom, Cole Hauser, the actor who brought Rip Wheeler to life, leaned back in his chair, his rugged charm undimed even in the sterile setting. Hauser's team looked tense, while Sheridan's attorneys shuffled through papers, brimming with confidence. The crux of the lawsuit. Sheridan claimed Hauser had overstepped creative boundaries by publicly suggesting a Rip Wheeler prequel and shopping the idea to production companies without consulting Sheridan. Hauser, in turn, countered that Sheridan's contracts with cast members were overly restrictive, stifling creativity and blocking the cast from exploring side projects based on their characters. Judge Eleanor Marshall, a no-nonsense woman with graying hair pulled into a tight bun, rapped her gavel. "Let's get this started. Plaintiff, you have the floor." Sheridan's lead counsel, a sharp attorney named Mark Dalton, rose. "Your Honor, this case is about intellectual property and the sanctity of creative vision." Mr. Sheridan developed the character of Rip Wheeler as part of his larger narrative for Yellowstone. It's his creation, his story. Mr. Hauser's actions undermine not only contractual agreements, but also the foundational respect between creator and performer. Dalton paced dramatically. "Imagine, Your Honor, if every actor decided to spin off their character without consulting the creators. Chaos would ensue. Sheridan's work represents years of meticulous planning, and Hauser's rogue proposal jeopardizes the integrity of that vision." When Dalton finished, the courtroom murmured. Sheridan's legal team exchanged approving nods. Hauser, however, was unflinching. He whispered something to his attorney, Amelia Greer, who rose with an air of calm authority. "Your Honor," Greer began, "while we respect Mr. Sheridan's creative genius, this case isn't about undermining his vision. It's about collaboration. Cole Hauser's portrayal of Rip Wheeler contributed as much to the character's popularity as Mr. Sheridan's writing. Without Hauser's embodiment of Rip, would we even be having this discussion? My client simply explored the idea of expanding a character he's lived and breathed for years. There was no malicious intent, only a desire to give fans more of what they love. Judge Marshall raised an eyebrow. Are you arguing that Mr. Hauser has a co-ownership stake in the character? Not exactly, Your Honor, Greer replied smoothly. But we are arguing that the nature of television storytelling is inherently collaborative. Mr. Hauser's suggestions were part of that collaboration. Furthermore, the restrictive clauses in Mr. Sheridan's contracts are arguably unenforceable in an industry that thrives on creative freedom. The judge leaned back, steepling her fingers. Interesting. Sheridan's expression darkened. This wasn't just about contracts or legalities to him. It was about protecting the essence of his work. Hauser, on the other hand, looked almost amused, as if he were watching one of Rip Wheeler's infamous barroom brawls play out in real time. The day's proceedings continued with witness testimony. Sheridan's team called key producers to testify about the writer's meticulous process and the importance of maintaining control over his intellectual property. Each painted a picture of Sheridan as an author whose vision could be compromised by Hauser's actions. When it was Hauser's turn, the actor took the stand. He spoke with the same gravelly intensity that fans associated with Rip Wheeler, recounting his passion for the character and his belief that a prequel would celebrate, not diminish Yellowstone. I've poured my heart into Rip, Hauser said, his voice steady. Every scene, every line, I've lived it. This wasn't about stepping on Taylor's toes. It was about giving the audience more of a character they've connected with. Under cross-examination, Dalton pressed Hauser. Mr. Hauser, are you aware that pitching a project based on a copyrighted character without permission violates industry norms? Hauser's jaw tightened. I'm aware of the rules, but I also believe in pushing boundaries when it comes to storytelling. The courtroom buzzed at his audacity. Sheridan's attorney smirked, sensing a misstep. But Hauser's fans in the gallery, including several Yellowstone cast members who had come to show support, applauded quietly. As the trial progressed, the case became as much about the shifting dynamics of Hollywood as it was about Yellowstone. Could actors claim partial ownership of the characters they portrayed? Should creators have absolute control over their intellectual property? The entertainment industry watched closely, knowing the verdict could set a precedent. Behind closed doors, Sheridan and Hauser's strained relationship was also dissected. Whispers swirled about on-set arguments, contrasting artistic visions, and an underlying respect that had turned sour. Yellowstone insiders painted a picture of two men deeply passionate about their craft, yet unable to reconcile their differences. In a surprising twist, the final day of the trial brought an unexpected witness, Kevin Costner. The Yellowstone patriarch, whose own exit from the show had been mired in controversy, had been subpoenaed by Hauser's team. Costner's testimony was measured and diplomatic. Both these men are extraordinary talents, Costner said. Taylor created something incredible, and Cole brought Rip to life in a way no one else could. I'd hate to see this become a cautionary tale about what happens when collaboration turns into conflict. The courtroom hung on Costner's every word. Even Judge Marshall seemed swayed by his calm gravitas. After weeks of arguments, testimony, and legal posturing, the case went to the jury. Sheridan's team argued that allowing Hauser's actions to stand would set a dangerous precedent, while Hauser's attorneys claimed that the entertainment industry needed to evolve to reflect the collaborative nature of storytelling. In the end, the jury returned a mixed verdict. They found that Hauser had technically breached his contract, but awarded Sheridan only a nominal sum in damages. More significantly, they urged both parties to enter mediation to resolve their creative differences and determine whether a Rip Wheeler prequel could proceed with mutual input. Outside the courthouse, Sheridan and Hauser faced reporters separately. Sheridan spoke tersely about protecting his vision, while Hauser emphasized the need for collaboration. Months later, headlines erupted with news that a Rip Wheeler prequel, co-produced by Sheridan and Hauser, was officially in development. The series, tentatively titled Rip. The early years promised to explore the character's troubled youth and rise to prominence on the Dutton Ranch. Fans rejoiced, seeing it as a testament to the power of compromise and creativity. The courtroom drama became part of Yellowstone lore, a behind-the-scenes saga as gripping as the series itself. And while Sheridan and Hauser's relationship would forever bear the scars of their legal battle, it also proved that even the most bitter conflicts could lead to extraordinary stories.